They say your body has a hidden reset button, one that can sweep away old tired cells, refresh your mind, and restart your metabolism in just 24 hours. It almost sounds too good to be true. Yet, some researchers suggest that a single day of fasting paired with olive oil might unlock a deep repair mode inside your body. According to these studies, this combination could double autophagy, speed up cellular cleanup, and even help stop insulin resistance in its tracks. Autophagy, a word that means self-eating, is your body's built-in cleaning system. It quietly removes damaged parts of your cells and replaces them with new, stronger ones. Think of it as a constant internal renovation crew, working behind the scenes to keep you younger, sharper, and more resilient. For years, scientists believed you had to fast for several days to fully trigger this process. But new evidence points to a surprising twist. Adding just one ingredient, extra virgin olive oil, might speed it up, making these benefits possible in less than a single day. Olive oil isn't just a source of fat. It's rich in unique plant compounds called polyphenols, which can communicate directly with your genes. These compounds influence the systems that control inflammation, metabolism, and even how your cells recycle themselves. Some studies suggest they can help keep insulin levels steady while supporting autophagy. That means your body may be able to burn fat, clean house, and restore balance all at the same time. In this deep dive, we'll uncover whether this olive oil fast is truly a metabolic game changer or just another internet myth. You'll learn how autophagy actually works inside your cells, what really leads to insulin resistance, and why olive oil may play a special role in speeding up this internal repair system. We'll explore the actual science, real studies, not rumors, and examine how fasting and olive oil might work together in a way most people haven't heard before. But that's not all. We'll also break down the potential risks, misconceptions, and limits of this approach. Influencers love to sell quick detox hacks, but reality is always more complex. You'll discover who might benefit from this method, who should avoid it, and how to approach fasting safely without damaging your metabolism. By the end, you'll understand what really happens in your body when fasting meets healthy fats, and whether a single day can truly create a powerful reset. Here's what might surprise you most. Olive oil may offer benefits that go beyond autophagy. It can help shield cells from oxidative stress, support gut health, and enhance brain function. What most people see as a simple kitchen staple might actually be one of nature's most underrated metabolic tools. Welcome to our channel, where we separate fact from fiction and dive into the real science behind trending health ideas. If you enjoy uncovering the truth behind popular wellness claims, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss our next evidence-based breakdown. Autophagy is one of the most remarkable survival mechanisms built into the human body. It works quietly inside every single cell, like an invisible cleaning crew that never sleeps. This process keeps your body young at a cellular level. It removes broken parts, recycles old materials, and rebuilds them into fresh, functional components. Without this internal cleanup, our cells would accumulate junk over time, energy would decline, inflammation would rise, and aging would speed up. Strong autophagy means sharper thinking, more stable energy, and a body that adapts better to stress. Weak autophagy means fatigue, slower metabolism, and higher vulnerability to disease. Under normal circumstances, autophagy stays in the background, working at a gentle pace. But when the body faces stress, especially from nutrient deprivation during fasting, it switches into high gear. That's when this reset truly begins. When you fast, something remarkable happens inside your body. As insulin levels drop and energy becomes scarce, your cells receive a powerful signal. They recognize it's time to survive and adapt, not by shutting down, but by cleaning up. Old proteins are broken apart, damaged mitochondria are recycled, and cellular waste is converted into fuel. This is autophagy in action, efficient, precise, and quietly life-extending. Fasting isn't the only way to trigger this process. Exercise, temperature changes, stress, and specific plant compounds can also set it in motion. But fasting is one of the most powerful and reliable ways to switch it on. Even short periods without food, just long enough to lower insulin, are often enough to get the cleanup crew moving. And when it happens, you can feel the difference. Mental fog lifts, digestion improves, energy becomes steadier. It's your body operating in a cleaner, sharper state. The link between autophagy and insulin is especially important. When the repair system slows down, cells accumulate debris that interferes with how they respond to insulin. Insulin is the hormone that helps move glucose from your blood into your cells for energy. But when communication breaks down inside the cell, the message from insulin doesn't get through clearly. The pancreas tries to compensate by pumping out more insulin, but over time, this only makes the problem worse. This is how insulin resistance often begins quietly and long before symptoms appear. Sugar lingers in the blood because the cells aren't listening properly. The pancreas works overtime, and insulin levels stay chronically high. Over months or years, this metabolic imbalance can damage multiple systems in the body. It doesn't just lead to weight gain. It affects energy, mood, hunger, inflammation, and long-term health. High insulin levels keep the body stuck in fat-storing mode. Losing weight becomes harder, even with strict diets. Cravings for sweets and refined carbs increase, and energy levels swing unpredictably. If left unchecked, insulin resistance can progress into pre-diabetes or full-blown type 2 diabetes. It can also disrupt hormone balance, damage the liver, and influence brain function. Many experts now call this state metabolic chaos because it disrupts so many processes at once. But what's often overlooked is that insulin resistance isn't just about what we eat or how much we move. It's also about how well our cells maintain themselves. When autophagy is strong, damaged cell parts are cleared away and insulin signals travel smoothly. When it's weak, cellular clutter builds up, communication gets distorted, and the body gradually loses its metabolic flexibility. Lifestyle habits can either support or sabotage this internal repair system. Constant snacking, overeating, and chronic stress all suppress autophagy, creating a perfect environment for insulin resistance to thrive. Sleep deprivation and inflammation make things worse by keeping insulin levels elevated. It's a silent cycle, but it's reversible if you learn how to work with your body instead of against it. Fasting helps break that cycle. By giving the digestive system a rest and lowering insulin, it reactivates the cleanup crew. As autophagy kicks in, cells become more sensitive to insulin again. Energy starts flowing more smoothly, and the body finds its balance. This is one reason why fasting is now a central topic in longevity and metabolic research. It taps into a repair process that was built into us all along. And this is where olive oil unexpectedly enters the picture. Fasting is one of the most reliable ways to activate autophagy, the body's built-in repair system. When food is scarce and nutrients run low, insulin levels drop, and the cell's energy sensors detect a shift. This mild stress acts like a switch, signaling the body to conserve resources by cleaning house. Damaged proteins are broken down, worn-out cell parts are recycled, and stored fat is used as fuel. Instead of focusing on growth, the body turns inward to repair and renew itself. This is why even short fasting periods are linked to clearer thinking, sharper energy, and improved cellular efficiency. The reduction in insulin and glucose creates a clean internal environment where the body functions more smoothly. It's like giving your cells a reset button they didn't know they had. Olive oil seems to enhance this natural process in subtle yet meaningful ways. Its polyphenols and antioxidants protect while autophagy is taking place. Compounds like hydroxytyrosol and oleuropein are known to activate pathways associated with longevity and cellular cleanup. They reduce oxidative stress, help prevent the buildup of damaged molecules, and support mitochondrial health. Mitochondria, the tiny powerhouses inside your cells, play a key role in energy regulation, and when they function efficiently, your entire metabolism benefits. These protective compounds create a stable environment for autophagy to unfold without being overwhelmed by free radicals or inflammation. The antioxidants in olive oil also strengthen cell membranes, reducing the risk of damage during this repair phase. In other words, while fasting switches on the cleaning crew, olive oil gives that crew better tools and protection to get the job done more effectively. On a deeper level, olive oil also impacts how cells respond to insulin. Research shows that its monounsaturated fats and polyphenols can improve insulin receptor signaling, making the cell better at recognizing and responding to insulin's message to absorb glucose. This supports healthy blood sugar levels and helps prevent the high insulin environment that suppresses autophagy. Olive oil also supports the pancreas by protecting the beta cells responsible for producing insulin. When these cells are under less oxidative stress, they function longer and more effectively. And because inflammation is a major factor in insulin resistance, olive oil's ability to calm inflammatory markers throughout the body is another key advantage. The combination of fasting and olive oil creates an interesting balance. Fasting lowers insulin and glucose, opening the door for autophagy to begin. Olive oil, in small doses, provides gentle energy without shutting that door. Its bioactive compounds amplify the benefits of fasting by protecting cells from stress and keeping inflammation in check. But moderation is critical here. Olive oil does contain calories, and overdoing it can interrupt the fasting state. Too much can activate digestion and blunt the autophagy response. That's why most protocols suggest only a teaspoon or two at a time spread throughout the day to complement the fast rather than disrupt it. Animal studies offer encouraging glimpses of what might be happening. Rodents given olive oil often show improved insulin signaling in the liver and muscles. Their fasting glucose drops, their glucose tolerance improves, and fat buildup in the liver decreases. In cell experiments, exposure to olive oil polyphenols reduces inflammation and shields mitochondria from damage, helping insulin pathways work more smoothly. Human studies provide more mixed but still promising results. Short-term supplementation with extra virgin olive oil has been shown to lower fasting glucose, reduce fasting insulin, and improve cholesterol markers. In some trials, participants also experience steadier post-meal blood sugar levels and lower inflammation. Long-term studies focusing on Mediterranean diets, where olive oil plays a central role, consistently link this pattern of eating with lower rates of metabolic syndrome. However, results in humans vary based on factors like dose, oil quality, individual genetics, and existing health. Most significant changes appear after weeks of regular use, not just one day. Animal studies sometimes show conflicting outcomes when intake is too high, and personal response can differ widely. What this tells us is simple. The olive oil fast may be a tool, not a miracle. It's not a guaranteed way to double autophagy or reverse insulin resistance overnight. It's a method that may support these processes gently, especially when combined with healthy habits. At the heart of this practice lies the idea of balance, using just enough to support your body's internal cleanup without overwhelming it. This is why understanding timing, quality, and dosage is crucial. Most people think of it as just a healthy fat for salads or cooking, but it's far more complex. Olive oil contains monounsaturated fats, mainly oleic acid, that interact directly with your cells. These fats help stabilize cell membranes and support smoother communication between them. But that's only the beginning of its power. Olive oil is also packed with unique plant compounds called polyphenols, including hydroxytyrosol, oleuropein, and tyrosol. These act like microscopic shields, protecting your cells from oxidative stress and lowering inflammation. Scientists have found that these compounds can influence the very pathways that regulate how your body burns fat, processes sugar, and repairs tissues. The more natural and unrefined the oil, the stronger these effects tend to be. This is why extra virgin olive oil, particularly cold pressed, consistently performs best in studies. It's not just food, it's a biological signal. A message to your genes telling your body to repair, protect, and maintain balance. Olive oil isn't just nourishing, it's strategic. Beyond its healthy fats, its antioxidants and polyphenols work like quiet messengers inside your body. They influence enzymes and molecular switches that decide how sugar is processed, how fat is stored, and how your cells defend themselves. When these pathways are balanced, your body becomes better at managing insulin, stabilizing energy, and maintaining long-term metabolic health. Every day, your cells are bombarded by free radicals, unstable molecules that can damage tissues if left unchecked. The antioxidants in olive oil, including vitamin E and powerful polyphenols, step in to neutralize these threats. This protection is especially valuable for organs like the pancreas and liver, which are central to insulin regulation. When these tissues are shielded from oxidative stress, they stay sensitive to insulin, reducing the risk of the chaotic blood sugar spikes and crashes that fuel metabolic disorders. Animal studies have repeatedly shown that adding olive oil to the diet improves insulin sensitivity, lowers fasting glucose, and reduces inflammation markers. In controlled experiments, olive oil helped restore normal insulin signaling in the liver and reduced fat accumulation. Human trials have shown similar trends. People who include extra virgin olive oil as their main fat source often display healthier blood sugar control and better cholesterol levels compared to those consuming processed vegetable oils. Even small substitutions replacing a portion of saturated fat with olive oil have measurable impacts on metabolic function in just weeks. But perhaps the most fascinating part is how olive oil interacts with your genes. The fatty acids and polyphenols in olive oil can switch specific genes on or off, particularly those linked to inflammation, fat metabolism, and oxidative stress. This means olive oil doesn't just nourish you, it communicates with your DNA. It can encourage your body to produce protective proteins while dialing down the ones that drive inflammation and insulin resistance. It's a subtle but powerful form of biological signaling that helps maintain long-term balance at the cellular level. This brings us to the concept that's generating so much attention: olive oil fasting. It blends traditional fasting with strategic doses of extra virgin olive oil throughout the fasting period. Instead of eating solid food, you consume water and a carefully measured amount of olive oil, often just a tablespoon or two spread across the day. The idea is to give your digestive system a break while still providing a steady, minimal source of healthy fats that don't trigger a big insulin response. For many, this method feels more sustainable than a strict water fast. Olive oil helps calm hunger, stabilize energy, and reduce lightheadedness, making the fasting period easier to maintain. Advocates believe this approach can amplify autophagy, the body's internal repair mechanism, while protecting against some of the stress fasting can cause. The theory behind this is based on synergy. Fasting naturally lowers insulin and activates autophagy by putting the body under mild nutrient stress. Olive oil brings in its anti-inflammatory and antioxidant compounds, which can support the repair process and keep cells protected. Together, this could create a deeper, smoother, more balanced cellular reset. Some researchers even suggest olive oil might act like an amplifier, making fasting-related pathways like AMPK and mTOR work more efficiently. These pathways are central to how your body controls energy, repairs cells, and ages over time. Because this approach allows people to fast without complete deprivation, it has gained traction among those who find traditional fasting too difficult. By providing a gentle, steady source of energy, olive oil helps maintain the fasting state without spiking insulin significantly. Its compounds may also mimic some fasting effects by influencing gene expression related to longevity, antioxidant defense, and metabolic flexibility. It's no surprise then that claims have emerged suggesting olive oil fasting can double autophagy and improve insulin sensitivity dramatically even within a single day. It's a bold idea, one that sits right at the intersection of ancient practices and cutting-edge science. But this is where we need to draw a clear line. While the theory is compelling, large-scale human trials haven't yet confirmed these claims. Most of the evidence comes from small studies, animal experiments, or indirect observations of fasting and olive oil separately, not together. The concept is promising, but it's not proven fact. Laboratory results don't always translate perfectly to the real world. What happens in a controlled setting or in a mouse may not happen exactly the same way in a human body. That's why, despite the hype, the olive oil fast should be approached with curiosity, but also with a healthy dose of caution. A typical olive oil fast is built on simplicity and structure. Unlike complex diet plans or extreme detox programs, it relies on the power of stillness, giving the body space to rest, reset, and repair. The day usually begins much like a standard fast. Plenty of water, minimal stimulation, and a conscious effort to let the digestive system stay quiet. The only difference is the gentle inclusion of small amounts of extra virgin olive oil at set intervals. For many people, this means taking 1 teaspoon of olive oil every few hours. Others prefer 1 or 2 tablespoons spread across the day, perhaps in the morning, midday, and late afternoon. The goal isn't to feed the body, but to provide a minimal source of clean, healthy fat that won't trigger a significant insulin spike. This makes the fast more tolerable, especially for beginners who find complete water fasting too difficult. Timing plays an important role. Many choose to begin their fast with water alone and wait several hours before the first spoon of oil. This allows insulin levels to drop first, giving autophagy a clear signal to activate. When the oil is taken, it's consumed slowly, sometimes mixed with a little warm water or lemon juice to make it easier to swallow. Throughout the fast, hydration remains essential. Plain water, mineral water, or unsweetened electrolytes help maintain balance and prevent fatigue. Total daily intake typically stays between 2 and 4 tablespoons depending on body size, experience level, and comfort. More isn't better here. Too much oil can trigger digestion, raise insulin levels, and disrupt the repair process that fasting is meant to enhance. The key is to provide just enough support to make the fast sustainable without compromising its benefits. But it's important to note that olive oil fasting isn't for everyone. People with certain medical conditions should approach it cautiously or avoid it entirely. Individuals with diabetes, low blood pressure, gallbladder problems, or digestive disorders should consult a healthcare professional before attempting any kind of fast. Pregnant or breastfeeding women, people on blood sugar modifying medications, and those recovering from illness should also avoid experimenting with fasting without medical supervision. Fasting changes how the body processes nutrients and medication, and olive oil can alter absorption rates, which can be risky for some. For those who are healthy and experienced with fasting, a few simple rules make this method safer and more effective. First, always use high-quality, cold-pressed extra virgin olive oil. Refined oils lack the polyphenols and antioxidants responsible for the potential benefits. Second, keep the quantity small and avoid mixing the oil with other foods, sweeteners, or caffeinated drinks. Third, stay hydrated, maintain electrolyte balance, and avoid intense physical activity that might push the body into unnecessary stress. Despite the growing buzz, this practice remains largely theoretical. There is no clinical evidence proving that adding olive oil to a fast multiplies autophagy or resets insulin sensitivity in just 24 hours. Most of the excitement comes from early research, logical mechanisms, and the known benefits of fasting and olive oil separately, not from large human trials, confirming the combined effect. Still, the concept is intriguing. It sits at a fascinating intersection between traditional wisdom and modern science. For centuries, fasting has been a natural reset tool. Olive oil, meanwhile, has long been associated with heart health, metabolic balance, and longevity. The idea of blending these two isn't far-fetched, it's simply not yet proven. That's why anyone considering olive oil fasting should treat it as an experiment, not a miracle fix. It's a practice to explore mindfully, with attention to how your body responds, keeping track of measurable signals such as fasting glucose, blood pressure, energy levels, mood, or sleep patterns can provide valuable insights. These small markers help you understand whether the practice is supporting your well-being or causing unnecessary strain. Working with a health professional or using at-home monitoring tools can add structure and safety. Curiosity is valuable, but self-awareness sets the limits. Like any wellness practice, olive oil fasting isn't a one-size-fits-all solution. Its effectiveness depends on individual biology, habits, and context. The idea of combining olive oil with fasting stands at a unique crossroads, part science, part theory, and part personal experimentation. On their own, both fasting and olive oil have solid reputations. Fasting is one of the most powerful ways to trigger autophagy and restore metabolic balance. Olive oil is one of the best studied healthy fats, rich in compounds that protect cells, reduce inflammation, and support insulin sensitivity. The possibility that these two could work together in synergy is what has captured so much attention. But it's important to stay grounded in reality. The bold claim that olive oil fasting can double autophagy and reverse insulin resistance in a single day remains unproven. So far, the evidence supporting it is mostly indirect, based on separate studies on fasting and olive oil, animal experiments, or theoretical models of how their pathways might overlap. Large-scale human trials simply haven't been conducted yet. That doesn't make the concept meaningless. It just means it's still evolving. Scientists are interested in this idea because it fits neatly with what we already know about how the body responds to mild stress, nutrient shifts, and polyphenol-rich foods. It's a hypothesis worth exploring, but it shouldn't be mistaken for medical fact. What we do know is this: fasting itself is a powerful activator of autophagy, and olive oil on its own supports